Yo. Which way did he go? Which way did he go?
Hold on a sec. I don't know. He just took off.
You checked under the car?
I've checked everywhere, brother. Hold on. Hey, let me call you right back.
You got food out? Alright.
Let me call you right back.
He's not in the woods.
What's that, bud?
I gotta go, but he's not in the woods.
Yeah,
I just did the whole I did the whole thing all the way up to
Oh, you
past
didn't have
that.
to do that, dude.
This
a cigarette?
No, I'm good. There's a lot of foxes here. Like there's like 6 foxholes. So
Really?
yeah. Like I see him every night. So that's why I'm out here, to make sure. But if I see him, I'll let you know.
All right, brother. Thanks.
Yep. Please be under my fucking car, bro. I ain't letting him shit. I'm taking the fucking camera. Shit hasn't been broken into. Bearcat got out. He ran away finally. He had his one opportunity to leave this prison. What a piece of shit. Should I scream? Ah! Check that bitch. You heard? Fuck that piece of shit. He's found someone to complain to. Look, this guy kills people with heroin. Gotcha, bitch. That guy kills people with heroin with no remorse. And he beats his cats. And one of them finally got out and escaped. Right when I was about to give up and leave. I'm like, should I leave town? And I have to save this cat. Look at him pretending to be a person. Look at him pretending like he's not completely possessed by a demonic entity trying to farm the little light that this place has. I'm trying to be the good person. I'm trying to be the better person here. But my tarot readers and my notifications say that they can see that guy. Like what I'm having trouble with at night, feeling like he's somehow moving through the forest with this big like Aquarian energy. Go on Facebook, he's an Aquarius. But instead of like delivering the truth, he's like, what's it called when it comes in reversed? He's a vacuum. So every time I bring a dream down from the sun, or I have a personality and I use it to create a moment where I could share with somebody, they put him around me, making my Bearcat album with Bear. Feel me? So the birds were leading me around. I decided not to confront him. make it seem like things are okay, so that in the future, his guard is down. I'd rather him think higher of me and think I'm not a threat, so that when the time comes when I can break in and save these cats, put them in a bag and bring them down to my father's. My father, who took care of 40 cats in 2022, and he would just sit drunk and sit with them all day. And I'm making an album called Bearcat, and Bear has gone missing. I've never gone up against an Aquarius. Every time I have, it never ended well. I just don't mix right with Aquarians. I don't know why. It's better to just keep them on your good side. With Aquarians, eventually, if you get powerful enough, they will do whatever they can to stop you. Like, there's no trustworthiness in them. That's true. Every single one I've had around, God will give me the blessing, the light, and I feel powerful. And then they go off. I'm talking like someone that was like at my feet, diehard loyalty, wanted to get this tattooed. As soon as I started winning, it was like he completely flipped and started trying to change my narrative. You feel me? Lying to people, going around my back, trying to hang out with my girlfriend, and he doesn't even want to sleep with her. He just wants to convince her to leave me. My mom called the police and told them I was trying to kill her with a bat. I wasn't. Not even close. She completely made it up. Right when I was about to drop my hit single. So let me know if you see a black cat about the size of a small dog. It's huge. Voices in my head said I just took over as king. They said, Casey, you took over as king. From God's perspective. I'm praying if Bear really ran that far into the woods, that he's in the cabin, hiding. The birds are going left to right. They guided me right to left all the way here to this event where Bear is missing, so I trust their judgment that this is a higher level of intelligence, God that works in all of our cells, structuring the perfect timing so that we can be judged based on our choices. And this is like a test. See who gets the legendary Bearcat, me or this 50-year-old drug dealer. 60, he's in his 60s. That he's been hijacking the subconscious minds with his Aquarian energy. He builds relationships and then plugs himself into the back and siphons it all out. But I don't think it's him. I think it's a higher thing controlling him. He said he's died overdosed on drugs many times. So he's I think for you guys, he's a very obvious teaching because he embodies only the demonic behaviors because there's no individuality to him anymore. He's just an angry addict that beats his cats. So in these interactions, when we go back, however long from now, you'll be able to see, and I'll be able to point out at 11:22 firsthand. I just hit him with the spirit orb. Let's get out of here, bruh. Because he who angers you controls you. So I've mastered this. I get so mad. There we go. What else? I'm thinking about doing the Appalachian Trail. Or I want to go north to Montpelier. Oh, is this one of his customers? Shut the fuck up. Let's go. I pray he gives me the opportunity. Every time a guy comes in, this paranoid schizophrenic will start sweeping the ground whenever anybody shows up to make it look like he's being useful. But he's just pushing the same dirt back and forth like this. And he beats his cats. I could run in and steal all of his shit. But I believe in karma. Even though I feel spiritually raped every night, right? How can I still believe in karma after everything I've been through, right? I'd have to be pimped by the universe. How we hit them together. Thanks, gang. Yeah, we did. He looked back and said, nope. Because he's an Aquarius. And I'm a serial killer that ruminates for days. And I manifested this moment where Bear escaped. So of course, we're not gonna just leave it here, right? We're gonna keep pushing the cat away until nightfall, and then wait. And he knows that. He knows he treats his cat so poorly that he thinks I would step in to steal it. You heard? Bear! I want to see if he'd scream back, just to see how childish he really is. You heard? Because he did it earlier. Hey, look, there's this bug that flew right to left. Around me head. Now the birds are calling from the trees. We have to see him by now. I checked everywhere. I checked everywhere but under his truck. It's people like him. I'm saying, like, on one of the tarot readings, it talked about an energy vampire that was turning me into a zombie because he was jealous of my youth. And he wanted to distract me from myself so that it would be easier for him to become me and wear me like clothes. And then I didn't really know what that meant. But then I realized a couple dreams ago, remember, I think I talked about it. I had a dream that one of my old friends, another Aquarius, was wearing my clothes in his style and showing me the girl that I felt like this guy stole being fucked by a bunch of demons. And he was laughing, and I was like, why is my old friend coming back? But no, it's this Aquarius that stole my energy to turn me into a zombie. And that's why my content has been sucking. And I don't know what to do about it. But I've kind of always known I'm supposed to take this bear cat, because that's what Casey does. When he can't beat the foe, he burglarizes. Like I stole the Vikings hatchet. So here's the view. Can you imagine God setting up this whole thing? How beautiful is it that I spent a year waiting to make an album called Bearcat? traveling around these mountains, suffering, only to end up at the perfect view to see the whole thing. And I finally came here to make my album, and then he showed up. I was here, and then he showed up right there, and he was staring at me through the window every night. Every single night I'd look up and he's just staring at me right in the eyes. I didn't know why, but it's because it was something like a tentacle from the town connected through quantum entanglement into the cells in his back, wrapped around him like the alien from Falling Skies or the head crabs from Half-Life, parasite controlling their mind, like all the different addicts that came in here that decided to go right next to my car right here to overdose and die, to suck out with the pressure all the blessings that I had, to convert it to death, and then something would siphon it back over down into the town. And in bigger towns it's more powerful, like Brattleboro, like when I got to Burlington, which is all the way across that mountain, called Burlington, Shining Town. You can't see it, there's a giant bird going left to right above. Basically, I stopped being focused because I was tired of having to fight off the sub-communication. There's so much going on in like a lower depths that you reach when you struggle. Yeah. No, I'm a badass warrior, but I'm also a big baby. So God sets my tests up in a very confined space where I can work on a single problem at a time. It's a big problem, and it definitely is spiritual rape, and it's intense for me, and it feels horrible, and I lose so much of myself that I worked so hard to gain. And it's hard. It's lasted 2 months now of every night we're going back and forth because he knows I won't kill him, so we can just keep trying. And then I get mad and I go deranged and I almost do it. I go like right here, and then he starts walking like around the property. It's not lonely for me because I know I'm never alone, and I know I signed up for this. I know the universe doesn't make mistakes, even though it sucks. That it is, even though we go through horrible stuff, it is to teach us something, wake up to something, and it usually has something to do with what we manifest. What I don't like is that something that's smarter than us, like probably way smarter than us, only because it's limited our intelligence so that we could work in this dimension. Like we're these high super beings in the sky that have co-created this reality, and we're talking to ourselves in a lower dimension that incarnated here to experience this. Probably the coolest thing. This is probably the coolest amusement park or video game maybe in the universe, or at least enough so that we're talking to tons of different aliens, and everybody's got stories of seeing all this weird stuff, and now it's coming out. And don't you guys feel like little blips and pieces where you wake up and you look at YouTube content of people that you used to think were really smart, and you look at them like they have no idea what they're talking about? There's so much more. Like Terrence Howard, like a couple weeks ago, he felt like a super genius. Everybody was posting him everywhere. Oh my God. But now that we've reached that threshold and the collective is raised, and now we're in the summertime where it's warmer, the temperature's higher, understanding is at a higher degree, like masonry, we look like that guy's a fucking crackhead, right? He was on crack in the interview. The opportunity to experience the Matrix. Dude, what do you think deja vu is? When you feel like you've already done everything before. It's like this whole thing has happened before. Do you think you're splitting into the 5D where it's everything everywhere all at once, and you're living in 2 different timelines at once? Where you're like, this has happened 5 or 6 times before. Or is it that See the birds going left to right that covered the whole perimeter, sealing it off in a way that would only make me know what that meant. And then the birds calling from right to left as a way of sort of, because I was staring out in the way in the distance. That reincarnation, yeah, dream. Bird chirped right to left over here. That's why I made this channel, because my life got so weird and so violent, and it got too much, and I was overwhelmed, and I wanted a legacy. So I put this out here just in case, and also as a way, like, everything I do is kind of edging the matrix to see what they're gonna do. Like, I'm a scientist, I guess. I'm an experimenter. I like to fuck around and find out. I guess Sagittarians are fundamentally curious, so everything we're doing is like, why is this happening? We're always reaching for understanding. And then we find, at least everything of mine is a Sagittarius Aquarius. So I feel like I'm this, like, that's what people think is, in the third dimension, we're using our senses to collect information, like we're mining the universe, like Bitcoin. This is like a condensed form of the universe so that we can mine energy. And then the gold that the Anunnaki was taking was actually the gold of our inner energy vibrating high enough that it shines like gold. They're not after, they are after precious metals because this density has precious metals, and that's condensed form of energy. But it's also talking about our spiritual and emotional Bitcoin. Like the same way that we mine in this third dimension, we're mining, solving problems. And doesn't it seem like the only people that don't have the problems are people that come out later to sell their soul? And here's my red truck. We've been talking for months about it. Every time I start to go on live, this red truck shows up every time, this one red truck specifically. And he always has a problem with me and staring at me, trying to rob my car, trying to get at me. And then I confront him, and I feel like he doesn't even exist and he's just a floating spirit. And they always move slowly because they're trying to collect as much information as possible from us. He's using my attention to farm the idea that he's bad. They're like, oh, they convinced me he's a man. So the more I see it, the more attention, where energy flows, where attention goes. So if I keep my focus on that and they keep me distracted, I'm actually creating a higher probability of that existing. See, the bird has started. And he only shows up. He won't be here for weeks. But as soon as I'm ready to start sharing information, he's here. And he likes to take my energy. I want to go up here. And he wants to convert it. He will do, like, I'm saying, like, when I'm not here, he's not really around. But as soon as I show up, he's shooting up 5 or 6 times right next to my car. And then him and Ed go at it. He's a heroin dealer, and this guy doesn't go to Ed. He goes to somebody else. This is in the center of Vermont. So if you think about the golden spiral, thank you. If you think about the golden spiral, which is as above, so below, as within, so without, our thoughts, everything that's happening on one level is happening on every level. And that's our galaxy signature. That's how our galaxy likes to work, the Milky Way spiral. That's how this entity that we're living inside, this higher, greater, complex form of intelligence, likes to express itself, is with theme, that theme. I can just keep taking these and they keep putting them back because it's necessary for their job. They need this because they drive these huge trucks all day. So they need at least one because the drivers come back sleepy and they don't want to hit this and fuck themselves up. So I just keep taking, like, I've got like 40 of these. Yeah, I'm trying, but this winter it was either go into the woods and hide in a tent, or sit in the back of my car and what's the last name of Halo Reach campaign, where it's just you alone and aliens will come at you until you die, like survival zombies. It was either that or that. And then as soon as I made the choice to stay, my crush, who felt like me, like I felt alone my entire life, and I'm constantly making music, trying to make something amazing and perfect. And then I found my perfection. I found the perfect feeling for my soul at the time. And I was able to hold on to it as I drove around New England, door dashing. And then I would invade stores of zombies and possessed people, Matrix, with my perfect song that I made, this perfect style. And I would go in there and just watch them all get triggered, and then learn how to defend myself against it. And then months later, it took 6 months of consistent daily trauma. Again, like in 2020, I got locked in a building after a car accident, and I had to sit there, and all my friends their subconscious drive was to put me back into the 2019 Matrix, where we all idolized Twitch streamers and we thought that the celebrities had some special gift. 2023, so I left, and I've been fighting, traveling since. 2023 happened. There's a shack out of them. I haven't figured out, I know you all left. You all left. You guys all fucking left. What'd I say? Look, I'm here. The cat didn't show up. I don't know how to get the cat. I don't have any food for the cat. I have pepperoni. I'm glad to see Heather is still back if she watches this. I haven't seen her comments in months. And then her comments started popping up again. So I don't know what's been going on, if you left and came back, and saw that I think I had 20 subscribers, maybe 17 at the start of this journey. And now I'm at 80. So we're still here, bruh. Okay, it says 0. Leon Skaz is a cool name, bro. What was I saying? Oh. You're an OG. You've been here for like the whole fucking dope. Glad to see Heather's here. It says 0 on my phone. Yeah, I had a brain injury, and the world was convincing me that I would have schizophrenia for the rest of my life, and that I would never have a wife and kids unless they were ugly and had to settle, because every girl wants a rich buff Chad, right? So I had I had the prettiest girl in town. It took me 8 years to get her. After a suicide attempt, she realized what she was losing as soon as I was gone. Then she came back. As soon as I drove my car 80 miles an hour into a pole, vibrated out of reality and came into this one, went to the retreat and had sleep paralysis. That's the asylum from the movie Sucker Punch. And I was there for a month, sleep paralysis every night. Then I got out, and nobody wanted to hang out with me anymore. And as soon as I decided that I was going to go to the gym, and I was going to better my life, and I was going to go find Mike Posner as he walked across America, and then I was going to learn songwriting, and I was going to be like some type of Grammy level producer, because I was just getting downloads of the entire universe every single night. And all the stuff that's coming out right now would just flood my head while I'm just walking around town. Like all the stuff that Terrence Howard is talking about, him having to go to a palace in a dream and they teach him. that stuff like is just fed into the back of my mind while I'm walking around. And people say that's called your spiritual inheritance. You get knowledge based off of your ancestors, and they're always around you. So this thing, but also like I grew up around the DuPont family, which are all like heavy Freemasons. My mom has told me that at one point I was in a ritual that a demon entered. That she told me the day and time that the demon took over my body when I was young. And then she puffed her cigarette and stared out the window blankly. And right? And then as soon as I'm about to release a hit single, she calls the police and tells them I'm trying to kill her. And then she's just watching through the peephole. So I don't know what's going on. I don't know, like I know nothing about my family, but I know that I've been alone my whole life. And I know that we're here. And I'm trying to finish Bearcat. I'm very proud of the album. And now Bear has gone missing. Which means there's a chance that I can save him. And I can throw him in my tent. Hide him from the foxes. And then we can get him down to my Freemason father that probably had me to turn me into a piece of pizza. Or my dad has told me, like, when I was born, he would say that he was my biggest fan. Like, my dad has always told me that he's my biggest fan. Like, since I was born, it was, like, subconsciously programmed that I should be in some type of position where people love the thing that me while I act. And now we're here. Yeah, a piece of pizza, bro. That's all my dad cooked. My dad only knew how to make pizza, so we'd have frozen pizza every night, and I would only eat the crust. I had a big house with 40 cabins and a 4-story barn with every tool you could imagine. Anything that we wanted to build, we could build. And I had any Lego set that I wanted. And I was on top of this mountain completely alone my whole childhood until suddenly people with names that stem from ancient African royalty, but they're white and Irish, show up. And then all of a sudden I'm building Legos with these kids that also have these ancient legendary names. And that was my early childhood until like this random homeless family moved in. See? And it happens so much that I'm able to recognize it. That the bird chirped over here 3 times. Then the crow blocked the way yesterday. It's a certain energy that I carry that they block. And I'm hoping that it's because it wants to segment and compartmentalize the knowledge. Like this crow has blocked off in my subconscious so that when I cross this threshold, see, now he started screaming, but he wasn't screaming before. The demon in him alerted him of my presence. This little psionic network over here alerted him that ancient Celtic King Casey has come to kill and conquer. See how the noise is picking up? It's getting louder to create a more intense vibe. Because eventually we're at a conflict. See, he's just automatically staring at me. He's just staring at me. He knew. Because it's not him, he's a puppet. And maybe I'm a puppet because I'm walking here. See, he's screaming at me. He knew that I was showing up. He left his box truck and he's walking as close as he can without coming up to here to scream at me. And there's my confirmation. The right to left that flew in front of the camera. I don't want to give him any attention. You don't deserve it, bruh. Bear! He can go fuck himself. And now the birds are... every year is different, where you never know what's going to happen, but it has a thematic structure because you have a soul with a personal style at all levels of creativity, pursuing art as an artist and persevering towards your magnum opus and understanding. It creates a natural need to understand reality. And then you're thrown into the school. I was thrown into the school early, whether I liked it or not, and they gave me superpowers, where I sat in the back of the class building Legos with the para, the most compassionate person in the school. And we would watch all the other kids pretend to be iCarly. There's no separation in nature. I think I'm confused whether I'm asking myself, like I'm inside my own imagination right now, and this is all just representations of my subconscious, like Inception, and we all have our own personal bubbles that interlink and commingle with each other based off our intentions, or if I am just a small, humble, free-willed entity that God put here like an ant. But there's the right to left, or the left to right. That's the no. The no bug has showed up. So this is around the time I would get a notification on my YouTube, which I won't check, but at this point I get a notification on my YouTube. See how the crows just they're not going to stop calling. The crows won't stop calling, but the bird is going, it was a golden bird, a goldfinch, going right to left down to this tree. Where am I at for charge? 15. Okay, but I can put my portable charger on this. So I can, the plan right now, because I'm still writing songs, they're still coming, there's still amazing, beautiful songs that are like my soul calling out to the universe, that spews out of me as I experience life. Like I go through life for months, and then at the end of the cycle, my soul suddenly has like 15 to 20 songs of everything that I went through condensed into one. And I start to spew them out, except my computer's broken and I have to live with this. And I have to go in and find a way to find somebody that has the means for me to express myself to the world. Without them stealing the energy and trying to build a sexual relationship so that they can siphon out the energy and then use it for their own manifestation. And you never know who's who. It's like I'm being prepped to be famous and rich, where I have to deal with everybody like that and never know what the true intentions are. That's just been the premise. Like that's the intuition, the intuitive thought that I have. And then I'll have a tarot reading that validates it, or I'll have a YouTube video that validates it, or somebody will walk up to me and just say the thing that I've been thinking for months. It just really makes me think that I'm dreaming and none of you are real, or if you are real, you're in your own little matrix bubble. And that's how you can see me, is because we're all in our own dreams. And then when the universe decides that we're supposed to meet each other, we just go to sleep, and then we wake up in a pocket reality. Then every time we go to sleep, they can just software update us and download the memories of what we went through in the practice run. But I don't think that's the whole truth. I know there's more to life. I know our consciousness goes to different places all the time. I know we're living in different dimensions and we're multidimensional beings having a human experience. I know there's so much going on at all the levels. when I wake up to higher forms, like I will, here's my bird right to left and then left to right. But you see how they're responding, because empathy is a lot more, not enhanced or exaggerated, but it's a lot more than we realize. And God is everything. That's what I've learned, is that God, like when they say this is a holographic projection, that's saying that we're living in God right now. And the horns, like if these cells just vibrate, they could vibrate higher and higher, higher until it's just pure light. And then what happens when everything settles back? Is it dirt or does it go back to grass? It's at the will of something else. So you can just you can put a hole here and radiate it. I'm pretty sure we learned that in 10th grade biology. But isn't that, everything was made by occultists, and occultists believe that they keep their power by hiding knowledge. So they keep secrets. There's my right to left. They keep secrets. Isn't it weird? Like I stare here, there's nothing at all, no birds, no butterflies, no moths, no people. But where I follow my intention, where I feel like I'm on a path, like I'm on the amusement park ride, and that's where you see the bird that just flew overhead, it's over there. Right where I feel like I'm being, see, now he's screaming again as I get closer. I think this is a lesson for all of you. Where this Aquarius is trying to scream his energy at me. He said he doesn't know which way the cat went, but he keeps being drawn to walk towards me and scream at me. And it was when I was talking about how this whole thing is an amusement park ride, and that these bugs are only on my path. These birds are only on my path in response to my thoughts. So how long do you think I have before police show up or I have to kill someone in self-defense? How many more levels do I have to ascend to? Let's see who this is. Purple car. Ah! Huh? I'm unpredictable. Whoa, 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 whoa. It all comes right back here. And then I convert it. And then the crow. You know how hard it is to live when you know that there's forces that want to hurt you, constantly watching you, that doesn't eat or sleep, and God is very sporadic, his guidance. But if you like video games, it's not a bad life. I just built a castle in the woods, and now my crows are surrounding Ed because they're carrying a pipe with them, a current of information in their relationships. It's all tubes and tunnels now. Currents like the Finding Nemo turtles. And you see, even if I get lost, because I kind of zone myself out to do this. I'm like living behind myself, disassociated. I've learned to live in a little tiny bubble behind myself, and that's how I'm able to function like this. They basically, at a young age, they traumatized me so bad I stepped out, and I've been piloting myself like a little alien in the back of my mind. And that's how I function. It's good for sex when you see your body as like a Sims character. And I'm learning how to get more into it. And I'm dancing at night, and I have these amazing moments where I thank God, and then I have moments like this. Because I do have good in the bad. The bad makes the good good, if that makes sense. There needs to be a lot of bad for a little good, it seems. Or maybe I'm going through the bad now because I had a lot of good before, and I'm supposed to have a lot of good later. So I'm just going through the bad right now to get it over with. The voice in my head, because I'm a psychic, the same way that the tarot readers are psychics, and you go to pay a psychic hundreds of thousands of dollars. In my psychic mind, as I crush this mosquito, a voice reached in and like piped the words. They pumped the energy from down there with the crows. They pumped the energy up to me. Not that I'm the king in the north, but I'm the king in the north. That ancestral trauma. What do you guys think about ancestral trauma? Why is that coming into my mind? Ancestral trauma. Yeah, so I'm seeing that guy has relationships with many people in town. And even though I beat him, now he's being pumped. The devil or whatever these forces are in this intermingling relationships based off energy, thoughts, and intentions and alignment and all that. They're pumping him full of new energy. That's why he's coming to scream at me. Because they've pumped him full again. And he's coming to spew it out. The same way that I pump myself full and I spew out good stuff to teach. He's spewing out crackhead, kill each other energy for his heroin addicts. Just like when I was trapped in March 2023 with a March 3rd Pisces that I was sleeping with that tried to sacrifice me to that probably did sacrifice me to a demon, then 2 weeks later choked her son out because she thought that it had moved on and possessed him. And someone with the same March 3rd birthday, a very big Chinese kid that does pro wrestling named Andrew. As I'm learning about Andrew Tate and trying to get into the real world, he's in there. He drives a nice car. He's 16 and he's made $100,000 on e-commerce. So I'm trying to learn from him, but it's like they've hindered my consciousness to that of a tiny baby. And I'm fighting every single day to function. And I'm freezing in my car and I only have McDonald's food. It's a common theme in my life is that I get stuck in the winter. And then I'm watching Ralph Smart. His birthday is March 3rd. And this is 10 years after I met my first love, Megan Kehoe, who was born March 3rd. And that was when I learned that I'm a 33 life path. And they taught me in that moment before someone with the same name as that ancient family that showed up at my house, my first friend, the Moore family that taught the Celt civilized culture. You have to get a Moorish seal in order to have a bank account. Every dollar, if you look at it. You should do Ancestry.com. I've been saving the money you send. I'm discovering that something's happening when I go to the tent, then I wake up and I come here. I'll suddenly start to be acting like an addict. Like I act like the people at the park and ride. And I'm starting to like freak out. And I'll like try to start posts on Facebook, or I'll do push-ups. So I think that's why I ate so much McDonald's a couple months ago. I was driven into my subconscious out of reality, and then my subconscious convinced me that it would be good to go get food. Let's see, I'm walking up. Yep, and he's walking back. Can you see his green shirt? Now he's screaming again and the birds are here. I don't know if they're real or not. I can't tell you if they're real or not. But I know that I can feel their intentions raping me. I can feel them raping me. Like the energy's wrapping around my body and stimulating me. It's called electromagnetic harassment or something. Electronic harassment. That's what they call it. What? They're antagonizing me to kill him, basically. Guess not. Do you see how this could be torture for an average mind? You said the average person would be driven into psychosis and be hospitalized and lobotomized for having, if like, you'd have to be really strong. You'd have to have been able to go through a lot to be at the level of reality. Here's my right to left. And then the birds right to left. Other birds are calling. I just got hit in the back of my head. There's a robin blocking in the middle of the road. Now he's coming at me. He's not here. He's not here. See?
Yeah, I know.
It convinced him to come this way. He's not here.
I gotta look for him anyway.
Yeah?
One of them things, you know?
They sent him to invade. They sent him to invade. They sent him to attack me. And look, here's the cat. This isn't Bear. This is his other one. He doesn't realize he's escaped. So I have a chance to take him. Let's see if he runs back. You don't have a lot of time. Hello. 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 Hi. Run. 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 I stole the cat. Fuck, he called the shit out of me. I shouldn't have ran with him. Ow. Oh shit, he's gone, look. One of the two. Hi, we found Bear. Hi. Bear. 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 Bear, it's me. Don't run.